Guys, welcome to today's video and thank you so much for watching. So today's video is going to be about how to invest for your child's future and potentially help your child to become a millionaire by investing through a junior ISA. I'm going to be showing you how investing as little as £50 a month from when your child is born can potentially turn into £1 million. Imagine giving your kids enough money to be able to buy their own house, go to university, or even just get a head start in life. That sounds amazing, right? Well, it's very possible if you start investing for your kids. By the end of this video, you will understand the benefits of a junior ISA, some of the common drawbacks, and where to actually open an ISA account for your child so that you can actually start investing for your child's future. I have a child, and honestly, investing for her future became a priority even before she was born. In fact, I still remember buying her first Apple stocks few months before she was born, and now that she's 4 years old, she already has over £6,000 invested, which I'm so grateful for. My hope is that if I continue to invest at this rate, by the time she actually turns 18, she'll have a decent amount in her portfolio. Right, so what is a junior ISA? A junior ISA is simply a tax-free savings or investment account for children under the age of 18 living in the UK. So every year you are allowed to invest up to £9,000 per child per tax year into a junior ISA, and the amazing thing is that it's completely tax-free. Now that £9,000 resets every April, and it doesn't actually affect your own adult ISA allowance, which is currently £20,000. That means that every year you get £20,000 ISA allowance as an adult, plus £9,000 junior ISA allowance to invest for your child, which is absolutely fantastic. I mean, let's be honest, most people don't actually max out the full £9,000 allowance, but it's just nice that you have up to that amount to be able to invest for your child. Essentially, this account is for children under the age of 18 years old living in the UK. And you basically open this account in the child's name, and the account belongs to the child, but you as the parent manage the account on behalf of the child until they turn 18. And then once they turn 18, the account is transferred over to the child. One great thing I love about the junior ISA is that friends and family can also contribute to your child's junior ISA account. So you know, at birthdays, Christmas, or even naming ceremonies, it would be a really good idea for people to gift your child something into their junior ISA account instead of just buying another present that the child might only need for maybe a few months. Now, there are two types of junior ISA accounts. The first one is the junior cash ISA account, which is basically tax-free savings account for your child. It's kind of similar to the cash ISA for adults. You put your money in there, the money just sits there and earns interest. There's no investing involved, there's no risk involved. But of course, that means that you don't get the best return on your investments, especially when the current interest rate is about 3 to 4% for most platforms, right? The second type of junior ISA, and the one I'm really excited about, is the junior stocks and shares ISA account, because this account allows you to invest for your child. It's basically similar to the adult stocks and shares ISA account. It allows you to invest into index fund, ETFs and shares, just like the adult stocks and shares ISA account. One great thing I love about this account is that if you actually start investing for your kids while they're still young, you can watch your money grow over time, and you're really able to harness the power of compound interest. So there's potential for huge growth over long periods of time, but as usual, you need to remember that investing always carries risk. The value of your portfolio can go up and down, and your capital is also at risk, which is why we have to be focused on investing for the long term for our kids before they turn 18, and also think about different ways to diversify your portfolio. So basically, what you need to do is put money into the junior stocks and shares ISA account, and then you can invest for your child. I personally like to invest in index funds for my child, and one of the most popular index funds is currently the S&P 500 because it gives you diversification across different companies and different sectors. And hopefully, if you're able to maintain consistency, you can actually build up a decent portfolio for your child before they turn 18. So I think this is absolutely fantastic. Now I'm going to show you a practical example of how the junior stocks and shares ISA can actually help you invest for your child and some potential returns that you can get in the long run. So let's do some maths. Now, earlier I said my 4-year-old currently has £6,000 invested. Now let's use a compound interest calculator to see how much her portfolio could potentially be worth at 18 years old if I only invested £50 per month. Now this is taking into account the £6,000 that she already has. Let's use a 10% interest rate, and let's just say I only invest £50 a month for the next 14 years. So basically until she turns 18. Based on this calculation, we can see that she can potentially have up to £42,000 in her portfolio, which is great, right? I mean, that's money that she can put towards buying a house or going to university. Now imagine that she has £42,000 at 18 years old. Let's say she then carries on investing at least £100 per month for the next 30 years, still with the same 10% interest rate. Based on this calculation, she'll be a millionaire by the time she turns 48 years old. And the amazing thing about this is that you as the parents have actually helped her become a millionaire in her 40s, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Now, bear in mind that we've used a 10% interest rate for this calculation, but it's very possible that some years you might actually get higher than 10% returns on your investment, and in some years you could possibly get lower than 10% returns. So I think it's really good because you're able to actually help your child start investing from a very young age. And then as they become adults, they learn how to invest, learn how to manage their money properly, and then they can take over that portfolio and hopefully continue investing as well. So let's talk about where you can actually open a junior ISA account. So some of the major providers of junior stocks and shares ISA accounts in the UK include Hargreaves Lansdown, AJ Bell, Vanguard, and Fidelity as well. Any of these platforms will allow you open a junior stocks and shares ISA account for your child, and it literally takes minutes to get set up and you're ready to go. I've taken time to compare their fees, and currently Hargreaves Lansdown seems to be the cheapest option right now because there's no platform fees or trading fees for their junior stocks and shares ISA account. Now, this is not a sponsored ad. I've not been paid to say any of this. I've simply just looked at the fees and compared the different platforms. But as always, please make sure that you do your own research before you start investing. So now I'm going to talk about some of the drawbacks that you need to be aware of before you open a junior stocks and shares ISA account. The first one is withdrawals. So once you open a junior stocks and shares ISA account and you put money into this account, generally you cannot withdraw money from a junior stocks and shares ISA account until your child turns 18. So basically, money goes into the junior stocks and shares ISA account. The money is locked in there until that child turns 18. You can't withdraw any money from that account, and the account belongs to the child. So technically, you have limited control over that account until that child turns 18. And because you no longer have control over the account, basically the child is able to access the account anytime they want and withdraw any money they want from the account once the child turns 18, which is why I think it's so important to teach your children about investing so that hopefully they have enough knowledge to continue investing and continue growing their portfolio once they turn 18. Another option that you can potentially consider is to create a separate stocks and shares ISA account in your own name and have it dedicated specifically to investing for your child. And then as you slowly start to build up that portfolio, you can then think about transferring the portfolio over to your child. You can then gift your child that money to be able to open their own stocks and shares ISA account. So that's something you can potentially consider. But as usual, this is not financial advice. So just think about what works best for your situation, do your own research, and speak to financial experts before you make any decisions on this. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.